Check 1, 2, 3. You're good. Good afternoon, everyone. I appreciate you all joining us for the post-game press conference for the UCF Knights. We are joined by head coach Katie Abrahamson-Henderson, senior forward Brittany Smith, and senior guard Diamond Battles. We will begin with opening remarks from Coach Abe and follow up with questions for Brittany and Diamond. Lastly, we'll circle back with Coach Abe for any other questions. When asking questions, please wait until the microphone is handed to you. For any virtual questions, please use the hand raise function and wait to be unmuted. Please be sure to state your name and affiliation prior to asking your question. Coach, we'll start with you with opening remarks.
So excited. My heart is just pounding still. It's just so, I'm sweating, just so proud of these women. I mean, I think they have made history this year for many things, not just this game, but winning the regular season conference championship, winning the conference tournament. I mean, they have set out and made some goals, and they've attained a lot of them. I mean, probably every single one except, sorry, you guys are going to be like, don't say it, losing one game in our conference. That's it. Every other goal that they've set, they've attained. And so, you know, we're very blessed that we had some really good super seniors. Obviously, these two are seniors too, and hopefully they'll both come back and play. But I think it really helps to have a veteran team like that out. And last year at this time, and now let's talk about this game. Last year at this time, we played Northwestern in the NCAA tournament, and Diamond went down, not with an injury that was going to limit her too much, but we all felt that, and we all felt like we didn't score. So I really challenged these ladies this year to be balanced scoring team and step up. Obviously, Brittany really stepped up this game. Mawsony really stepped up this game. Diamond stepped up this game. Shania Merton stepped up this game. She hit some really big shots for us. So we talk about balanced scoring all the time, and I think that really helped us. Obviously, our defense holding this team to 52 points is great too. So I just felt like we did a good job playing defense, but scoring for us, that's a big deal. So I'm very proud of them, and I feel very blessed, and my heart's still racing, so I'm going to calm down now.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Now open things up for the student athletes.
Hi, Howard Magdell with the Next. Congratulations, you guys. Brittany, I have two for you, if I could. The first is, this is a career high for you. You've set what was previously your season high on March the 8th. What is clicking for you offensively?
I mean, I'm just going out there and doing what I do best. I don't know. I just want to score. I just want to bring my team up in any way possible. I'm just going to go out there and shoot what's open. So.
A technical question. Do you know what your wingspan is by any chance? It
I
seems
wish.
enormous.
It is. You're right, it is. She does not know that.
I don't.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Congrats.
Diamond and Brittany, what does it feel like to be, like your coach was saying, you've been part of history all season, but to be able to really take part in this effort to be able to give your program its first NCAA tournament win? How much was that on your mind going into the game, but also to be able to do that today and finish the deal?
You want to go first? You go first. Okay. This is a goal that we've set for a few years now that we've been trying to achieve, and we've come short, you know, the last few years, obviously. So, like, we're just really, really, really going to enjoy this win for the rest of today,
Yep.
and it's just a really good feeling.
Like Abe said, when I went down last year, it was like, you know, everybody kind of like got sad. So going into this game, I didn't, you know, want my teammates, you know, feeling or thinking about that game. We knew what we had to come out and do. And like most people say, we set goals, and most people don't achieve your goals. But to finally achieve this goal after years of coming to the NCAA tournament is big for us. So we're definitely going to soak in this win.
This question is for Diamond, for Azar Johnson from MV Online. Today you seem to, I've watched some of your games, but not all of them, but today you seem like you came with a swag. Is it a fair assessment to say your mindset was just, I don't know, it was just on another level? I felt like it was, you took it to another level. I mean, it's not to say that you don't take it at a high level before, but I felt like you were saying you were taking it to the next level at this point.
After I got named Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, I kind of gained a lot more confidence, and I knew now that I can play with a little bit more swag because, now people look at me as a Player of the Year. So, why not bring a little swag to it? I know that, people are going to look at me to score and look at me to lead this team. So, I know when I bring the intensity, my teammates going to back me up no matter what. So, when I play with intensity and a little bit of swag, it makes the game a little bit more fun.
Deshaun Jones from MV Online. My question is for Diamond. You looked at comfortable from the start to the finish. You got to anywhere you wanted on the court. Can you talk about how important it was for you to be aggressive and set the tone of the offense from the time the ball tipped up?
Like I said before, being the leading scorer on the team, sometimes my teammate looks for me to get us started, basically. So when I hit that first shot, I knew the momentum was very high. And just doing what I do best, I attack very well. I get people open shots. I create for my other teammates. And once that first shot went in, I knew that the momentum was very high for us, and we were just very comfortable here.
This question is for Brittany. It seems like people always are going to sway to Diamond, but do you look at it as when they're not making you the focal point, do you look at it as a sign of disrespect and you embrace it to show them that you're also a problem too on the court?
I don't need to be the focal point. I'm just gonna go out there and do what I do and help my team get a win. I care about all my teammates. So anybody can be the star. Diamond's our star, and that don't bother me at all. I'm so happy for you and for everybody on my team.
Oh, he's so cute.
Diamond, this one's for you. You guys had 6 turnovers today. What is it that's allowing you guys to limit your mistakes to such an extent, and how big a part does that play in what's been a rising offensive efficiency over your entire season?
Definitely controlling the tempo. When we get sped up, we make a lot of mistakes. When we control the tempo, we assess what's going on, and we're not too dribble happy or nothing like that. Just follow the game plans. Just execute sets. That's when we're at our best. We turn the ball over less. So today we definitely controlled the tempo a lot. That's why we had 6 turnovers.
All right, our next question is going to come online from Kyle Nash. Kyle, are you there? Other questions from the in-person crowd? All right, Brittany, Diamond, thank you.
Hey, help her down the steps.
All right, now we'll open things up for questions for Coach Abe.
Hey, Coach, good to see you again. Howard Mandel at the Next. In terms of the evolution of this team, your teams have been top 20 defensive efficiency from the moment you stepped on campus, just like they were at UAlbany. Where and how far along is this offensive evolution, and do you feel like this team has gotten to the point where you need it to be a true national contender?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people talk about our defense all the time, only because it's very different. I think winning teams play defense, period. I always say this, I played, nobody cares, right? But when I was playing for Andy Landers and Vivian Stringer, it was defense. You're playing defense. You're not playing defense, you're not playing. So, I learned that very early when I was a player that was super important, and then I was blessed to work for some people that it was very important for them too. And so that's just kind of innate in me. I just know that in order to get to this level, you got to play really good defense. Our defense is really good because it's consistent. We don't change. We don't go zone. We don't go man. We don't mix it up. We stay in our press. We tweak stuff a little bit, but they're super confident in it, and I love that because they love it. They're confident in it. They have swag with it. They press. They love pressing. And some teams beat it pretty well, and they did a good job beating it today. But it just gets us going, and so that's big with defense. Offense. This year really is our best offensive team for sure. Everybody's scoring. Nobody cares who gets the credit, like Brittany just said. She doesn't care. That Brittany just is just so happy to, win, and so when you go in our locker room and we have, like we look at these production points and we'll say, you were beast mode today, Brittany, or you were beast today. It's always somebody in our room. And so offensively, it's been great because a lot of people have scored a lot of points this year for us. So, it's balanced scoring for us. Yep.
Jim Clark from Women's Hoops World. I got in a little late, so if you've already answered, just say I answered it, and I'll get it on the transcript. But you guys are really familiar with this building. And the last time you played here, well, you played twice in a season, and you were 8 points and 11 points behind at the end. That's as close as most teams get to UConn. So how does that – and some of your players were part of that team. So how do you approach that? How do you approach UConn, which has never lost in the second round?
I don't know. I'm trying to enjoy this win right now, so I'm not approaching them yet. Honest to God, I'm not. I'm not. I'll go back to the hotel and I'll grind and watch film. My coaches have already watched film on them, but I do know they're a different team. They're not the same teams that we played in the past. This is a 2-year out thing that we haven't played them. So this is I have to really kind of study them and see a lot of things. Obviously, they're a historically great team. I know that, and for this game, I felt we were comfortable in the gym because of what you're talking about, We've been here before. The other teams haven't been here before. I feel like the UConn fans are great. They were probably cheering a little bit for us, too. They're just great basketball people. So I haven't really thought about moving forward about playing UConn yet. But now that you put my head there, now I'm thinking about it.
Hey, Coach. Question I was going to ask is, what do you think? You're being when you from New Albany. This is not unfamiliar what you're doing right now. Maybe people see it as UCF is doing it new, but this isn't. This is your normal track record. You take things to the next level wherever you go, and clearly you've done that with UCF. But what did you do this year to come back from last year when you lost the tournament, came back, won the tournament, slayed the dragon like you did with Maine in the other conference, and then now and come back and win this game. And even though you're the top-ranked team, that's still an SEC team you just beat. So what did you do this season to take it to the next level?
Well, I really think it wasn't all me. I think a lot of it has to do with our captains, which is Diamond, Moss, and Tay. They just made a decision that this is what they were going to do, and they came back. They didn't have to come back. Moss and Tay did not have to come back. They did not. They could have gone and played somewhere, right? So they made a decision because of that feeling they had of losing in the NCAA tournament, the feeling they had of losing to USF in the conference championship, the feeling they had of not getting the regular season conference championship. That when you're a great player, that burns you for a whole year. So what they did was they came back and went to work immediately, especially Diamond, especially Tay. Tay's in the gym all the time. And they started, I don't even think Diamond took 2 days off after that game, and she was in the gym shooting. Her biggest thing was they don't think she's a three-point shooter. So now Diamond's going to start working on her three, and that was a whole summer thing, Mossany, she can't shoot outside shots, back off on her. So now she's working on shooting her outside shot. They hear how people guard them and the way people guard them. Tay, she can't shoot either. She's only a driver. So they all really got in the gym and worked on that. And we talked about when the season started that we had to be a balanced scoring team. We have to. We cannot rely on KK Wright. When we were in the NCAA tournament, KK scoring 26 points. It's just you can't win that way, right? So we talked about it all the time, balanced scoring. And, we've just been really, everybody says, Coach Abe's a defensive coach, but actually I'm an offensive coach, And so, we just really worked on our offense again and just, celebrated every time somebody took a shot or made a shot or different people, right? So they got super confident in it. And that's why you see when Brittany shoots, she's just super confident.
Coach Jason Beatty with the Orlando Sentinel. You mentioned in your initial comments, Shania hit some pretty big shots there. They made it a 4-point game in the third quarter, and then she hit back-to-back. How big was that for her confidence?
We recruited Shania for a purpose because we couldn't, what would happen if, Diamond or Lish, something happened. We wanted somebody that's a backup guard. She's a senior. We recruited her because she had a lot of experience. We knew that she could handle big games, and I said that in the locker room, actually, to her, they were cutting it, and she hit 2 big jumpers, not guarding her, and she just, as a super senior, stepped up and hit those shots. Those were big. Those are big shots, and I told her that in the locker room.
Coach, just to follow up on the offensive part of the equation, you guys are north of 45% from the field. I think something like 7 of the last 9 games. Like you said, this is your best offensive team by the numbers, but especially over the last month plus, it's especially been so. What's allowed for that to happen, especially this evolution over the last month?
Well, Diamond's gonna laugh, but I think in practice, some days we'll just go do offense, and they're like, yeah, hey, we don't have to play defense, But so we've been really working on that. We've been working on our sets. We put a new one in for this tournament too, offensive set. So we just been working on a lot more. When you got the defense down and you have stabilizer like Diamond and Moss and Desto and Britt, and they all know the defense, and you can take your time and work on the offense. We just had to get Shania familiar with the defense. That's really it. And so these guys know the defense like the back of their hand. So now we're able to work on offense a little bit more.
And then I just want to talk about Brittany a little more if we could. I was asking about wingspan. This is obviously someone who you're hoping is coming back next year. But whenever the WNBA is calling, how does she project at the next level, and what's allowed her to have the kind of breakout she has, where she's found another level in terms of her efficiency and scoring at the same time?
Well, Brittany's scary because she doesn't know that she's that good. Brittany doesn't know she's that athletic. Brittany doesn't know she has that wingspan. Brittany is the sweetest, caring, wonderful young woman that wants to be a nurse, and help people, right? So she's not a dog like Diamond. She's not like, and she's not, She's just like, but it's okay. You need some of those people on your team. So, she knows when she catches it on the low block, and we watch a lot of film, that she's a bucket. I mean, I think they call her bucket now, so they've been hyping her up a lot, and complimenting her, and she's just super confident right now in scoring. And if you don't double her, then she's a bucket, right? So she was, I don't know what she was tonight, something. Yeah, 11 for 15. But, that's Diamond getting the ball, it's Lish getting the ball, it's Shania getting the ball, it's Moss getting the ball. People are getting the ball, and they also know that she's going to shoot it, unless they double her, she's shooting that thing. So she's got some low post moves, she's got some step out, like nice touch, she's got nice touch. So, that's a blessing with Brittany. She has no idea that she's, that special,
All right, well, that's all the time we have. Thank you, Coach Abe.
All right, thank you.
I didn't even see that he was. It sounded like there was some sort of like. Yeah. It sounded like there was like. Yeah, but I think he didn't. I don't think he. Well, then so I put his hand back down, and then he put his hand right back up.
But did you unmute him?
Good afternoon, everyone. I appreciate you all joining us for the post-game press conference for the Florida Gators. We are joined by head coach Kelly Ray Finley, senior guard Zippy Broughton, and sophomore guard Nina Ricards. We will begin with opening remarks from Coach Finley and follow up with questions for Zippy and Nina. Lastly, we'll circle back with Coach Finley for any other questions. When asking questions, please wait until the microphone is handed to you to ask your question. For any virtual questions, please use the hand raise function and wait to be unmuted. Please be sure to state your name and affiliation prior to asking your question. Coach, we'll start with the opening remarks.
Hello, everybody. Thank you guys for coming to the game today. Thank you for staying. We appreciate your support. I think it's good for the women's game. And I think that Connecticut fans are basketball fans, first and foremost, so that was fun to see a lot of people stay for our game today. Obviously, it wasn't the outcome that we had hoped for. I thought that we competed. I thought we competed well amongst the adversity that we've had to end the season. Though we don't do excuses. We never will. We don't look for them. That was a very talented UCF team, very experienced, and it was a good game to play up here in Stores today. I'm very proud of our team. I'm proud of our seniors, their effort, their resiliency throughout the course of the season. And this is a team that has started to leave a legacy. It's for building blocks for the future, for our program. And I think, as a whole, I'm just very proud. Sad that will be the last time that we compete together as a group. But looking forward to our future of Florida women's basketball.
And we'll open things up for questions for Zippy and Nina.
Zippy and Nina, Alexa Philippi with ESPN. You guys have been through so much adversity this year, even the last few weeks alone. Kind of what do you take from this whole experience this season? And I know probably the loss is still really fresh, but what do you think you'll kind of take away most or remember most about what you were able to accomplish this year?
I feel like a big word you said was experience. We had to go through a lot of adversity this season, from literally before we even started all the way up into this game. So we learn from those. We get better. We about to recruit to be able to compete in the SEC. But it's just, like you said, it's learning experiences, and we're going to improve from that and become better players.
I would also agree. It was a great experience this year, what we went through, and it only, got us to be stronger and resilient. And all I have to say is that this is just the beginning. In the beginning of the season, as I mentioned, we all wanted the goal to be here, and we got here. We know what it feels like now, so next year we're going to build and prepare for that all summer. So.
Zippy, Howard Magdal with the Next. Congratulations on the season you guys had. When you talk about, you're recruiting to go and compete next year, what is that? What are the missing pieces, the missing pieces that you feel like are taking you from here, which is an NCAA tournament team, to the place where you guys want to go?
Well, she got the head coaching job, so I'm gonna let her stick to that. So I know next year I'll have the point guard spot. And, we already keep talking about I'm going to be going through a lot of extensive point guard college this summer, being able to lead the team best appropriately. I know that's something I struggled with in the first half. I wasn't able to lead as I felt like I should have, and they couldn't depend on me. And Nina stepped up big time for that, so I appreciate you, Neat. But, yeah, I'll let her handle the recruiting part.
Deshaun Jones from NB Online. My question is for Zippy. You talked about building on your point guard skills. I believe you had a great highlight as a point guard where you threw a no-look beyond the back assist. Can you walk us through what did you see or not see during that play?
Hey, I'm just happy it wasn't a turnover. I feel like a lot of times in practice, I've been having a lot of crazy passes like that, and sometimes it's not received because I might be going a little crazy, but I was happy that she was able to catch that. And I was just having fun. Like, when you play basketball, when you hoop, you just doing, just having fun and doing whatever's necessary. Like, that's what makes the game exciting. People want to see a show, and, that's what we did, the best of our ability.
Azar Johnson from MB Magazine. I wanted to ask you ladies, what you guys came within 4. What do you think it is that either they were doing or what you think you failed to do on your part to overcome that? Because you guys it was looking like they were going to pull away, and then you guys just started breaking it down, play by play, drive by drive, and then you got it down to 4, and then something changed. If you can just explain what, in your eyes, what you thought changed the game at that point.
That's something that, like I just said, I have to learn as a point guard. I let the game slip right out of my fingertips. We started getting a lead, and I know I came in transition, shot at 3, bricked it. But I went in the huddle, I apologized immediately, like, I was excited. And in those moments when we start cutting the lead like that, that's when we need to execute the best. Of course, we can be excited. Of course, we can make big plays. But it got to a point where we wasn't sharing the ball as much as we had to get to that point. And we started trying to do things one-on-one, and we started to do things where it just wasn't the best decision in execution. So that's something that, as a point guard, that I'm going to have to take control over next time.
Any other questions for the student athletes? All right. Thank you, Zippy and Nita.
We don't leave her.
All right. We will open things up for Coach Finley.
Coach John Altavilla from the Associated Press. Talk about the frustration, if you can, about these last 3 weeks with the injuries and having to come into a game like this already shorthanded and then losing another player in the second quarter, I think it was, and just knowing what could have been if it hadn't happened.
Yeah, I think, it was unfortunate. I think that's probably the biggest word that I would use, but I don't know, you guys might think I'm crazy, but it was typical. I think that our team is resilient, and it was unfortunate. However, like I said, we don't make excuses. And we have a talented roster, and we all believe in each other, and that's what got us this far. And every night when we lined up this season, we played Tennessee, we played Kentucky, we played A&M. We rattled off a long string of games right there. And a lot of people on the outside, I don't know what they thought, but I'm not sure that it really mattered to us. And so our hope and our goal today was to compete every possession. Thought sometimes we did that. I think sometimes we got a little too excited, like Zippy said. I appreciate her accountability. I think that's a making of a great, great, great leader. There was a lot of times probably today where I could have taken better control of the game, right? I tried to use timeouts early to help us as best as we could. But it was different. It's different without Kiki on the floor. And to act like it's not is just kind of ignorant, right? And then Jordan, and then Faith, and then Bryn, it is what it is. But I'm proud of our team. I stand by when I say I'm incredibly inspired by each and every one of them, and I thought we had a very magical season this year. I haven't talked to our medical staff yet, just knew that she would be out for the remainder of the game. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Coach. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's one graduate that's not coming back. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? There's one player.
We'll have our end of the year meetings, after we get back to Gainesville, and then, everybody will decide what's best for them.
Right. No, I was just assuming. I think the one player, like, if the graduate, they can't return. I'm assuming it was the last game. If you can just speak about that player, and because they're not here on the podium to speak about everything, or that last game. So if you could please speak about that player.
Kiki, I don't know. Do you guys want to speak on Kiki first? I think, Nina, you could speak to,
Yeah.
what Kiki has meant to you. The
I would
impact that
just
she's
say,
had.
real is rare. You rarely find players like Kiki that embrace their position and do whatever it takes to see their teammates successful. And we're definitely going to miss her a lot, even off the court. She's impacted me in so many ways. I don't even know where to start, but just as a person off the court, maturing and being confident in myself, she's always been there to talk to me about things and help me on my game. So I appreciate Kiki so much, and I'm going to miss her a lot.
You want me to speak on Kiki? Oh gosh, I'm not really sure where to start. And I will get emotional probably because, Kiki is somebody that had signed with a different school. Her story is really unique and it's really cool. I think you should write about it. You should call and you should ask her. But she came to Florida and she committed to us without having seen the campus. And when she did, I'll never forget, she said, it's the people that make a place. And because of that, I know that Florida's where I want to be. And we've spent a lot of days and a lot of time together trying to improve her game. And, for me as a coach, like Zippy and I talk about a lot, like we got to spend a lot of more time together. It was easy to coach Kiki. She was a joy every single day. Gosh, she never had a bad day. Even when, she got injured, to see her bounce back against Ole Miss and be able to talk and lead and, try to help Zip with what she's seeing on the floor, and Birdie and Nina and, shoot the pull-up, Nina, I'll never forget, all those kinds of things. It's because she's selfless. And you don't find people like that very much anymore, with a resiliency, a work ethic, a belief, to do whatever it takes to uplift the people around her. And in doing so, she's made our program better. Her, Christina, Manu, they've sacrificed a lot. And she sacrificed a lot to come back when she could have been drafted last year. But like she said after the SEC tournament, she doesn't regret it. It's hard sometimes as a coach to be like, oh man, should she? I don't know, right? Especially when you love and care for somebody like we do her. But she wouldn't do it any differently. And she's elevated this program, and her legacy will forever be great at Florida.
Coach Howard Magdal with the Next. Congratulations on the season that you've had. And obviously it's been tumultuous. There's so much to try and consider, and you guys are here in the NCAA tournament anyway. You're also in a position of stability now to know going forward, that you're going to be in charge, to know, among other things, you've got Zippy at the point. There's some different things that you can bank on going into this next year. And so I'm going to refer the question that Zippy referred to you, which is to say, how do you get to where you want to be a year from now, and what does that look like?
Continue to do what we're doing. I think that's the best way to put it. A relentless work ethic, a joy centered around your daily life, a joy centered around each other. That's never going to change in this program. We want to have a mental fortitude, as a group and individually. We want to be strong, confident women, and we want to be loving and caring and competitive. We want to be all things. And I want our student athletes to believe that. I want to be that, and I want to do that together with them. And, moving forward, it's important that we recruit those qualities. This team has those qualities. And with that, you can go a long way. And then you can continue to build. I think that connecting experiences, connecting feelings and emotions with memories and different things of that nature. Zippy calls me the hippie coach. It's okay because she's the hippie player. I think that stuff's important. And I think that leads to tremendous growth in a short amount of time. Mm-hmm.
Stratton Stave, the Daily Campus. So we talked a little about the adversity that you faced this year, but I I think one thing that's important to touch on is also the fact that you guys, between like the middle of January and February, were one of the hottest teams in the country. Do you think you can learn more from the adversity or the success that you guys had this year going into the off season?
Oh, both. Again, that goes back to just making the connections. Listen, I think we're a really good basketball team. You know, the ball didn't bounce our way. UCF, competed hard against us today, but I think we play hard. You know, their kids said they play harder. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. You know, I think that competitors compete, players make plays, and I'll stand with our group any day of the week. And so, yeah, there was a string there where we were able to really successfully just lock into each other, continue to grow. We'd focus on 3 things that we could improve on, 3 things maybe that we did well, try to celebrate each other, celebrate the little things, as silly as that sounds. But you got to learn from both. You know, I think that a lot of the narrative has been centered and focused around adversity. I think it's a narrative that should be centered around a group of young women and a staff, a group of people who are inspiring and uplifting. And because of that, we achieved far, far more than a lot of people thought, but we never doubted ourselves.
All right, we're going to take one last question from online from Caleb. Caleb, you have the floor.
Coach Caleb again with the Independent Florida Alligator. So what is now going to be your first team in Florida is going to be one that's going to be remembered for a really, really long time in Florida basketball. You touched on a lot about the adversity and successes, and it just came at a really good time, I think, for this program and for this school that really needed it after everything that was swirling. With the season coming to a close, what would you say that your group means to you as now your first complete team?
Oh man, they mean everything. It's like I said, there's some teams that you coach that are challenging to coach. This one was never that. They made my job easy every day. They chose to give me a great experience too. You know, we set out to create a very positive experience. I think we did that as best that we could, day in and day out. And they worked really, really hard to give me that experience and our staff that experience as well. I think as a coach, I don't know if there will ever be as selfless of a group as this one. They've been really fun to coach. They've been inspiring. And, I think I'm sad that this team will never compete together again. But I know that they'll have reunions and all kinds of fun stuff because they're a really tight-knit group and they enjoy each other. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
You didn't have a question? Yeah, that's okay. Either way.
It's up to you. You want to?
Great question. Yeah, learned a lot. I've learned that you can be who you are and you can be all those things that you want to be as a woman. The people who know me best probably are student athletes, know that you can be fiery and fierce and competitive and intense and challenge each other and be competitive and loving and caring and kind and all the things. You don't have to be afraid to be vulnerable. And, when you model that, great things can happen. And it can be scary, but it can be really, really special when you open yourself up to those kinds of things. And always operate with honesty as best that you can. And I know that I've grown a lot this season with their help, with the help of our staff. And I hope, that I've made them proud, just like they've made me very, very proud.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah, we're fine. You guys good?
It's from your time at Harvard,
Mhm.
and Kathy Delaney-Smith is retiring. I'm wondering if you had any stories in particular you wanted to share about KDS and just
Oh,
your
man.
time with her.
She's awesome. She's my inspiration. She taught me how to coach. She taught me everything that's right about the game. She taught me how to create a great experience. She taught me how to love hard. I'm forever indebted to her, and I was hoping she could make the game today, but she couldn't. But yeah, I don't know. She's funny, she's loving, she's caring, she's all those things that I just said that you could hope to be as a coach and a mentor and a person. So, yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Zippy and Nina.